Parliament is preparing to start its reconstruction process this coming week following the January 2022 fire. This following the issuing of the construction certificate by the Department of Labour on Friday. Rubble removal has now been completed and the site will be handed over for construction on Monday.
And the site is only going to be handed over on Monday because we only received the construction work permit today. This morning, the Department of Labour confirmed to the DBSA that the construction work permit is approved. And for that reason, the main contractor will take over the site.
Construction is expected to be completed at the end of October next year, but there will be a 3-month period thereafter to check defects. The construction costs are also expected to breach the 2 billion rand that was initially estimated.
And that appropriation understood that there was no detailed design of what would happen in terms of the demolished component as well as the rebuild component. Only when a contractor shall have been appointed with the benefit of a quantity surveyor, which DBSA appointed, they will be able to give us competent cost estimates determined by architects. Hence the cost that we have now on the basis of their award. The figure is above the 2 billion.
Parliament says the Hawks are awaiting a decision by the NPA on whether other people must be prosecuted for causing or aiding the cause of the fire. Meanwhile, the Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, has reiterated government's position that the Expropriation Act will not lead to the seizure of the private land parcels haphazardly.
There were those who were saying, oh, now we want to grab land from, white farmers and other people who have had land before. What we are doing with the Expropriation Act is really to ensure redress, to ensure that those who were previously denied and land was taken away from them do have access to land in a legal manner. So there's no way you can have the law and the law allow you to grab land just haphazardly. This law is going to help us to ensure that we fast-track land reform.
Earlier in the week, the NCOP also held a debate calling for the continued existence of Itala Bank in KwaZulu-Natal. Itala's exempted banking license expired in December 2023 due to regulatory non-compliance. About 2.5 billion rand of depositors' money are locked in the bank after the Prudential Authority applied for Itala's liquidation in January.
Possible or imminent liquidation of Itala would not just mean the loss of jobs. It would result in a financial disaster for communities that have no alternative service provider. It would endanger over 2.5 billion rand in deposits, mostly from low-income individuals and cooperatives. It would compromise access to housing, vehicles, and business finance in areas commercial banks choose to ignore.
The debate was sponsored by the IFP, and the party also fears for the consequences of liquidating Itala.
There would be a loss of over 5,000 jobs and livelihoods that the IDFC creates each year. 2, small businesses which depend on the IDFC's funding would collapse, leading to further job losses, thereby foregoing any chance of achieving our estimated 3% economic growth.
We believe that Itala, the Prudential Authority and the Financial Sector Conduct Authority should prioritize out-of-court settlement on ongoing legal disputes.
We are in favor of Itala's mission, but we will not support its mismanagement. These institutions collapse not because of the mandates, but because of political interference.
The bank can still be rescued and transformed into a fully fledged state bank. The EFF remains committed to defending institutions like Itala.
While it is true that Itala has encountered its share of government and compliance issues, the response from the regulators has been to undermine the potential for reform and growth.
Meanwhile, National Treasury is considering a guarantee to safeguard depositors' money. On matters related to the proposed budget, SARS Commissioner Edward Kisweta told Parliament that there is an estimated 800 billion rand under tax collection. SARS has reiterated its call for government to invest on areas that are significantly under-resourced.
Where then are the opportunities to improve the administrative efficiencies and effectiveness, and to what extent can that improve the revenue outcome for the fiscal framework? And we have been consistent in saying government must invest in order to collect that is already due, even as it considers what additional taxes and tax policy adjustments to make. And these two things go hand in hand.
We accept that the Parliament has got authority to amend the budget, but we would plead that the matters be focused on how to make this budget efficient. And in this regard, we're approaching this thing with an open mind, and we'll accept your guidance.
Bulelani Phillip, SABC News, Parliament.